Okay, hello everybody. This video is based upon my recent consideration of the concept of significance. I'm making a career change. I was going to try to be a math teacher, but now I'm headed toward the radiology tech realm. And I was thinking, well, this is I wanted to study math because I thought it would give me an opportunity to kind of find more significance in my place in the world. I thought maybe I could be an engineer and instead of being a math teacher and help to develop alternative energy technologies. But that led me to think about the significance of either path, and really, you know, I doubt that I would be too successful as an engineer because I don't love math enough. I love music. That's my passion, and that's unfortunately not something I'm probably going to be able to do for a living. But that's getting beside the point here. What I'm basically saying is that when I started to think about significance, I think, well, what really is significance? What does it really mean? Because you think about people who are significant, and a lot of times they're not as significant as they seem on the surface. Hitler. Nobody could claim that Hitler wasn't a significant influence on world history. Didn't have a significant influence on world history, but his influence was, for the most part, terrible. Now, he certainly left his mark on the world. But is that what we want? Do we want to leave the mark of terrible things? No, we'd like to leave the mark of good things. But then you think about other people who are considered significant. Celebrities are considered significant. But when you think about what they do, how many of the movies that your favorite celebrity acts in do you really absolutely love? And more importantly, how many of those movies make you a better person? Give you time to think about your own life, think about what you're doing, and direct your actions in a way that will make your life and the lives of those around you more fulfilling. Now, for me, that rarely happens where I find a movie that really changes me for the better. And the same goes for a lot of any form of entertainment or anything anyone does. So, and then there's also a question. Well, is can you say that what somebody does is entertainment absolutely good for you? Is it absolutely bad? What is absolutely good and what is absolutely bad? For me, I believe in sort of expanding the role of music in people's lives. That's why I wanted to be a music teacher. Unfortunately, they don't pay music teachers. But the idea is I get this radiology tech thing and I keep working on being a music teacher on the side, and maybe eventually if I develop a clientele I can move away from the more realistic job of being a radiology tech. And I'm wondering, well, if I do that, it would seem like, well, what did I do? I lived my life in obscurity as a radiology tech and a part-time music teacher, maybe eventually full-time music teacher. But, when you think about that life compared to, let's say, Michael Jackson, what did Michael Jackson do? He wrote some catchy pop tunes. I loved them when I was a kid. I used to listen to Michael Jackson. But, what kind of effect did he really have? I guess he his music, I guess, made people feel good in the time they were listening to it. But I wonder, did the overall message of the music really create a positive influence on people's lives? Was he, a role model to be looked up to? Certainly he had his problems. I'm not trying to say that, he didn't achieve great things. He had an amazing voice and was a great dancer. But for me personally, when I look about his influence on my life, sure, I'd like to be a good singer and a great dancer, but I'm just not. And so, as a role model, he doesn't do much for me. Maybe he does more for you. But all I'm saying is that it's kind of hard to know how to judge people, how to judge their significance, And most importantly, I think that a lot of people fall into the trap of thinking the significance is whatever the dominant paradigm deems significant. The dominant paradigm being, I guess, capitalism, basically. or capitalist democracy, or whatever we have right now, whatever you want to call. I mean, it depends on where you live too. But I think that's the thing is it may seem like your life is very insignificant, but the reality of the matter is, while a dominant paradigm might pigeonhole your actions as being insignificant, it's hard to say whether or not your actions are absolutely or objectively or subjectively significant, because the universe, I don't think, really cares what the powers that be think of your life. I mean, you don't really know if there's any kind of opinion on anything whatsoever. Maybe their manipulations and their business savvy and their actions as the titans of industry don't really matter either. It's hard to know who is the judge on significance and insignificance. And I'm sure you ask 1,000 different people, the relative significance of either, a top industry executive or me, and I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't see the significance factor being a lot different, because to them the industry executive doesn't really play a prominent role in their life, or if they do, they aren't even aware of that. So all I'm saying is you definitely have some effect on those people around you. That is obviously the most notable area of your significance. But beyond that, I think it's kind of hard to gauge. And certainly I don't have much significance in terms of the dominant paradigm. Even this video that I'm making right here, I'm sure all these thoughts were thought before. They've been written in books. People much smarter than me have put these ideas into words much more eloquent than mine. But so that makes this video somewhat insignificant. But at the same time, maybe some people will see this video, be inspired to think that living an honest working life isn't such a bad thing, and maybe it'll make the world a better place, and maybe that will be significant to some amount of people. And maybe it will serve as a record that these kinds of ideas, while they may have originated in the past and have been repeated, continue to repeat, and that I'm part of that chain. So I really think that when people talk about feeling like their life is meaningless or that they are very insignificant, it's only in a sense of as related to what is considered significant by those people who are in power. And those people who are in power and my point is basically that those people who are in power are not the absolute masters of what is significant, what isn't significant. What they are the masters of, unfortunately, is the rewards that are received during life for what they perceive to be your significance or insignificance. And I guess that's what, the reality is. I like to tell myself, I think that, I want to have meaning in life, I want my life to have meaning, or I want to leave something behind. The reality is, I just want the rewards that come with being thought of as being significant. And I really think that's what most people really want. You think Franz Schubert is a great composer who died in his 30s and wasn't particularly well known at the time of his death. You think he feels better because people know him now? He's dead. Unless you believe in afterlife. I mean, if you believe in afterlife and those kind of things, then guys like whatever, Paul and Peter or whatever from the Bible, these guys are living it up, and and got bitches everywhere. But we all know that's not what's going on. So all I'm saying is, I know I'm rambling here. Basically, all I'm saying is that try to remember that significance is most likely subjective. That is, unless of course there is a God, and I'm just talking BS.